Hello, happy vlogmas day 4. Today was a weird day, mood-wise, vibe-wise. I did not sleep well last night and was anxious like pretty immediately this morning. Things got better in the afternoon, but I just sat down and read. Like, I had nowhere to be until late afternoon when my younger son had archery. So I brought him to his archery shooting time. It's just like an intramural league hosted by a Boys and Girls Club a few towns away. So yeah, we did that this afternoon. Now the boys are at a basketball practice, which is why the shoe shopping last night. Well, that's why they got shoes last night. I also got a pair of shoes last night because Nate and I have a holiday party to attend on Saturday. I'm not a party person. But yeah, just to have something to post, let's talk about December reads. We've kind of talked about how I'm not reading much. Yeah, I'm like very close to like reading slump territory, but I think I have a plan and I think I'm gonna bounce back. So last night I started the audiobook of the Sleeping Car Porter. I'll put a picture here. I started the audiobook, and this is a buddy read with Nicole. We're going to discuss this over Storygraph. Because she's reading the book, I need an audiobook. We're starting it kind of on different days, and then the pacing is going to be different than our usual buddy read pace. So set up a Storygraph format buddy read where we can just like put our page or percentage and comments associated with that, and then they don't get revealed until the other person is at the same point they can see what notes you leave. So that actually flew by. And when I checked my progress so that I could leave a note on the Storygraph, in one sitting I had gotten through 42% of the book, which is insane. And so I listened to that while I was doing some crafting last night. And then I'm wondering, like, did I miss something? Because like it felt crazy to me that I was that far along in the book and I didn't feel like all that much had happened. I don't know that I love the book, and I had really, really high hopes for it. We're reading it because we just finished reading The Street by Anne Petrie together. And one of the characters in that book worked as a sleeping car porter. And then we're like, oh, you know, this other book exists and I've heard great things about it. Let's do that one next. So we did. And I'm glad I didn't buy it because I nearly did, thinking like I'm guaranteed to love this book. And I don't know that I am. I'm wondering how Nicole's doing with it. Let me know. Because she's reading it, and I have a feeling reading it is the way to go, not audiobook. Because the audiobook just ends up sounding very choppy, where I think maybe reading it would be more effective at showing this kind of like disorienting, like overtired, exhausted, like this is happening now, this is happening now, this person needs me now, I have to go do this. Like I feel like it would be more effective to read that than listen to it while I'm doing busy work, you know what I mean? So jury's still out how I feel about the Sleeping Car Porter. Also, the language is a little more explicit than I was expecting, which is fine. Just wasn't expecting it, especially when my other read at the moment is Sky Daddy by Kate Folk. And so this is a sneaky book. I think you would expect it to just be like an object romance, like a weird like subgenre of like erotica or smut, or I don't even know. Because you have a main character who is romantically, sexually attracted to airplanes, whose dream in life is to find her soulmate, her soulmate being an airplane. So her goal is to fly as much as possible, as often as possible, and that's her dating in the hopes of meeting a plane who will be so overwhelmed with love for her that it crashes, that like it can't fly anymore. It's too taken with like instantly falling for her that it plummets, and the plane crash would therefore be their wedding, bonding them eternally as a couple. That's the setup of this book. Problematic. I have thoughts about that whole like how the romance works in her brain. Excuse me, it's not like she's in love with like jumbo jets, with like passenger planes with hundreds of people on it. I'm sorry, like I have issue with the whole setup of that romantic scenario she's created. However, the book is actually quite compelling in the same way that Convenience Store Woman worked for me, that like outside of the social norm, unreliable narrator who like, is it a neurodivergent situation? Like I read Convenience Store Woman and I saw the clients I worked with when I was a job coach. I worked with all sorts of diagnoses, but like several of my clients were on the autism spectrum, and I saw them reflected a lot of ways in her character, and I'm having the same experience with this book. And I have a feeling it will never be on the page, just like it was never on the page, never really even discussed in anyone's reviews that I ever found about Convenience Store Woman. Like, yeah, I think it would be potentially problematic for that to be like on the page, but there are similarities between the character and people I worked with, or like the training I received in like how neurodivergent individuals may perceive social situations or mask in social situations, the very like literal nature, the adherence to like strict schedules and regulation. I see all that in this character, and I find it very, very interesting and quirky and funny. Like it's working for me in like this kind of like offbeat kind of way. Yeah, just like Convenience Store Woman. Like I'm about a third of the way in. It's been a very slow go for me. Today I made good, like I did a good chunk of reading, like 20-30 pages at once. I've been very, very slowly reading this book, like 2 to 5 pages at a time, just because I've been like on the verge of a reading slump. Yeah, I just haven't been making good progress. So Nicole also just got this out from the library, and we're also doing like a story graph, sort of like at our own pace buddy read. So now I'm kind of like reinterested in like, okay, we're gonna have stuff to talk about now. So I've been leaving comments on the story graph. Like my very first comment within like the first couple pages was like really, really long. Like I had a big reaction to this book, which surprised me. And yeah, it's really held my interest for as slow as I've been reading it. You would think it's not, but it is. Next up, once I get through these two books, Nicole and I will be buddy reading on Voxer, so like in pace with each other. We'll read The Great Gatsby, which is the next book on our high school required reading project. As I'll tell you going into it, it's not a book I like. I would say I hate this book. And so I'm going into it with negative feelings, and I'm expecting that to stay the case, but I'm open to maybe getting something else out of it. My kids will actually be reading The Great Gatsby probably in January with their group of homeschool, like they take an online class 2 days a week. They have like a little cohort, and The Great Gatsby is on their reading list. So it's like kind of perfect timing, because I definitely want to have it fresh in my mind so that I can like kind of butt into however that lesson plan goes. Yeah. So that's up next. After that, we will read The Ghost Road, I think. The third book in Pat Barker's Regeneration trilogy. Another buddy read. We read the other two books together this year, and so like I'm really proud of us for like finishing off a trilogy within just a few months, really. So that's going to be up next, and I'm really, really excited for. I have been loving that series. And then a book I'm not excited for, but it's coming up, The Hunting Party by Lucy Foley. This is my book club's pick for December, but they're not meeting till January 7th, I think. So I have time for this. Actually, yeah, I'll be at my in-laws' house the weekend after New Year's. So this might wait for January. I guess it'll depend on when I have to get it back to the library. I think this is a thriller, and that's not my vibe. That's not the genre of like preference for me. I don't know. Let me know if you've read this or have thoughts about it or think I would like it, knowing that like thrillers aren't my thing. But is it even a thriller? Is it just a mystery novel, in which case still not my preferred genre, but I would probably be more likely to enjoy it if that's the case. I could continue building a TBR for the month, but like, who am I kidding? Since August, I think, August, I've been averaging like 4 or 5 books a month, which is crazy, because before that, I was like 11 to 13 books a month, which is insane. I'm sure a lot of audiobooks, but then, oh my gosh. Okay. So I never finished The Remembered Soldier. And I think that's really kind of like effed up my reading numbers, because I would like slowly work on that, but still haven't finished it. I never finished Free Food for Millionaires, which is another like lengthier book that like I picked up and read another chunk and never finished. So like that never gets marked off. But I've been reading a lot. Yeah. So I don't see those two getting finished before the end of the year. I kind of want to read some more like Christmassy books. Maybe the Nutcracker, the E.T.A. Hoffman version. I know that's a book club choice for Nicole and her channel members. I'm kind of in the mood to read A Christmas Carol by Charles Dickens, like coming off of Great Expectations. I want to read more Dickens. Like, what? That's not me. I also kind of want to read things that are like family centered. So I've never read Little Women, and I feel like that would be a good pick for Christmas and has those like cozy family wintry vibes, maybe. Like I said, I've never read it, so I'm not sure if I'm right on that. I feel like I see Little Women a lot around Christmas time. All that said, watch me just couch rot and YouTube scroll. I mean, it's Vlogmas, and I want to watch everybody's Vlogmas, and I want to keep up with my paper crafting. Too little time. But that's it for tonight. I don't know. Hopefully tomorrow I'm in a better mood and I remember to actually like vlog throughout the day. Fingers crossed. I will see you tomorrow. Bye.